Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Mario from Barberview TV Podcast. We are now live on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, YouTube. We even have an Apple app, and if you have the Android, we got that covered too. We're being joined by 32 countries all over the world as we put them on game on this barber culture. Follow us on all the social media platforms. Make sure to follow and subscribe. And once again, thanks everybody for all the love and all the support. Today's podcast is being sponsored by the Vegas Barber Bash. It's going down this weekend at Club Artifice, Sunday, October 2nd in Las Vegas from 4 to 10. It's going to be amazing. Come check us out over there. It's just a good group of barbers coming from all over. It's not even a barber competition. We're just there chopping it up, good vibes, lots of demos, and just good vibes, good people. You do not want to miss this show. Barberview is going to be in the house as well doing the live stream. Guys, we're joined by a very special guest today. He's actually in Vegas right now, and I'm in Vegas. I wish we could hook up, but I know things is mad crazy with our schedules. I've been trying to track this gentleman down for a long time, man. I found him on IG. His stories are very inspirational, and they make perfect sense the way he breaks down health and fitness. As barbers, as barbershop owners, as people in the industry where we're working 10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day, man, just grinding out. We just have to find a better way to take care of ourselves health-wise. And right now, I think we could all do a better job in that. We're coming around the new year, and we always do this. January 1st, what's the first thing we say? New Year's resolution, I'm going to get a gym membership. By March, the gym's empty. It happens all the time. So joining us live and direct from Las Vegas is at Big Ron Jones. What's up, Big Ron? How you doing, brother? Thanks so much for joining us.
Man, thanks for having me. All is well on my end. Just out here for a quick visit. Well, not really a visit, on a work trip, actually, but getting more content in the way I like to deliver it to the people, which is those the social network platforms, Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube. So even on Facebook. So on all those platforms, Big Ron Jones, delivering content that you guys can use. Health and wellness is the whole focus, no matter what I'm doing.
Absolutely, bro. That is so awesome. Yo, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you got involved in this, in your path or your calling for health and fitness.
Yeah, so I grew up as a military kid, so pretty much everywhere is where I would say I was raised at, although it was primarily overseas in Okinawa, Japan. But I put my first karate gi on, I think I was 6 years old. That was karate. Doing Shotokan as a style of karate found in Okinawa. Anyways, had a good time doing that. Then I found basketball, found football, played both of them as we always do my whole life, back and forth. You know, you got two seasons. You know, you got the winter sports as well as those spring and summer sports. But I was going back and forth between basketball and football until I got to high school. Still going, focused on just basketball at that point here. Got to college freshman year, broke my ankle. But all was not lost. That's when I found the gym, structured strength training. So I went into a gym, started to work out lifting weights, and I figured, hey, chicks dig muscles, let me keep going. And sure enough, in my head, 90 days later, I had all the muscles in the world, and chicks did dig them, let me tell it, right? 18 years old, what else can I do at this point, right? But after a while of continuing with this one, I realized that kinesiology, the body in motion, it made sense to me. It just naturally read to me the same way I'm sure a barber can see a pretty roughed up, unmanaged head, but he still sees a canvas he can work with. The same when it comes to the vision of seeing someone's human body in motion, knowing that you can actually improve upon this, and then even beyond that in a sustainable fashion. Because, you know, life is life, and working around our responsibilities can sometimes be tricky. Back to the point. Continue forth with that, graduated from college, and then kept going full-time as a personal trainer. Now you see me because the social networks have evolved to allowing us to have access to millions. And this is where I am now, accessing millions with health and wellness.
That's an awesome story, man. It's crazy how, and I was going through your IG. I see The Rock is even following you. I saw you with Big Perk, bro. Shouts out to Big Perk, bro. He is on ESPN. He goes hard as hell on TV, and I absolutely love his commentary for sure. We all struggle, man. It's like professionals, time. I swear it's going to be a point where we need 36-hour days to get everything that we need done in a day. It just never seems like it's enough time. What is the biggest failure point in people, or what's the biggest excuse that you're hearing about people saying, I just can't do it. I know I'm heavy. I know my health is failing. I know I got to work out. I just can't fit it in. What are some of the words of encouragement or some guidance that you could give barbers that's in that barbershop every day that just, they eat, they take their kids to school, they cut for 16, they grab something to eat, they go to bed, all those calories just, fast food, something quick. It's a vicious cycle. What for our specific profession in the barber culture? What can we do? What can we do outside the box to help remedy that?
So for all those noble sounding responsibilities you listed a moment ago, children, family, a business, all this makes sense and it's very noble in its intention, but it's all moot points at the end of the day
Mhm.
because you're no good to your family dead. You're no good in the barbershop if you can't stand on your feet without your feet aching. You're trying to get to this haircut because Lord knows your lower back is hurting you. Um, there's so many issues that come as a complication, excuse me, so many issues that come about when you lose control of your health and wellness. So all these warnings you've received, pre-diabetes is a warning. No, it's not something that's being cursed upon you or cast upon you with a curse. Is it some generational curse you got to break because this is a lie? Doctors just want to put me on a medication. No, that's not what pre-diabetes is. It's not what pre-hypertension is also. It's a clear warning. Pre means before. So they're saying before it becomes true diabetes, here's your warning.
Mhm.
Before it becomes true hypertension, here's your warning. If you take heed to that or not, it's on you. But
Yep.
once it's here, it's official. And I tell you something, there's this idea that there's a big ploy by the pharmaceutical industry and by physicians to put all Americans onto pills and to have them sick. That's
Mhm.
that's really a far-reaching idea to really buy into. And let's just say that notion was true. You do realize you don't have to be on a hypertension medication. You do not.
Yep.
Your consumption, overconsumption, underconsumption, lack of activity is what put you there. The physician did not come to your house at 18 years old and say, hey, try these Zappos or these wrap snacks and Fanta soda for the next 5 years and see what happens. They didn't trick you into that. You did that.
Mhm.
But to be optimistic, let's know that you did not know better. So now that you do know better because you've been given a warning, it's up to you to take that and go forward with it. Again, of
For
course, we
sure.
all have responsibilities in life between family and business. And as you said a second ago, all of the complications that come with life. But looking for more time is not going to work. You can look all you want to. It's 24 hours. It's blocked. There's no more. You ain't getting no more. Ain't no more hours been invented. You can't buy none. There is no blockchain. There's nowhere to get more hours. What you're
Yep.
going to have to do is simply utilize or prioritize the hours you do have by putting that. And I said the word priority on purpose. Somewhere you have to put it in there. Oh, I got to work. Well, that's the first portion, the first place you might want to look to. I know it
So
sounds crazy to drop a client, but you might have to drop a client and put yourself there because you're the client now.
that is mic drop. Boom, got him just like that. But you are correct. That makes perfect sense. And just for the barber culture in the industry, right? We spend a lot of time making sure people look their best, but we're not making sure that we look our best. Now, superficial, it's crazy, right? Because I remember going to a dentist one time, and I was like, "What are some of the things that you noticed about being a dentist that's revealing to you?" They say a lot of people looks. They try to get all dolled up and pretty from the outside, but once they go under the hood, it's a nightmare, right? And I was like, that's pretty interesting perspective. Because as barbers, we always got the fly gear, the fly this, the fly that. But inside, I mean, the mortality rate is just getting lower. I mean, the age, the people, all the people that we lost this year due to health is insane, man. So what is the best time to work out? If you're a barber, right? What is the best time to work out? Do you
So the
what's
best
your
time to the,
go ahead,
the
go ahead.
best time to work out, there is no physiological best time. So what you're gonna do is see what's the best time based on your life and life responsibilities. If you know your day kicks off and doesn't let you go, then simply prioritize this before the day begins. I have a fourth and fifth grader and a wife of 13 years. I get up and do my own cardio before they get up and get their day going. No one
Hmm.
knows I was gone. I get up, shoot out. By the time I'm walking in, they're up brushing their teeth. So I know for sure I prioritized me getting mine. So there it goes. At least the cardio portion was done. Later on in that day, I do have a set aside time to do my strength training, working with the weights or whatever. But I do know for sure one thing that will get done is that cardio first thing in the morning time. But I go to sleep so late. Okay, then we'll somehow manage to get yourself into bed before it gets too late, knowing you have to plan ahead for tomorrow. You got to plan ahead. It's not going to be an impromptu thing. If it's impromptu, it's never going to get done. And you're the person who's getting the backlash of this lack of planning. Everything else is planned in your life. Why not plan your health in advance, which is also going to be you prioritizing it? Because in a sea of it, or in a day of responsibilities that you have to handle, it is the things that you see of priority that you put on that list. You're not going to bump the kids getting picked up from the carpool lane. You're not going to, bump your client. You're not going to necessarily want to bump what other responsibility you have. So all these things are excuse me, I'm getting thirsty. All these things are on your list of priorities. So make sure you put health on there so as you'll prioritize just that. That was a
Makes that
mouthful.
makes
Sorry.
Oh no, that I mean it makes perfect sense. A lot of the barbers, especially like that I see, they're doing the good things. They try to wake up early, they try to meal prep. Tell me about and I just want to give you a personal story myself. Single dad since the age of 5 and 3, and when I first got my kids and I was taking care of them, I didn't have no time for nothing. It was all about them. And I was in the military, right? I went from about 205 to 275 pounds. I went from a size 38 to a 46.
While you were
And
active,
yeah,
they
yep.
put you on a
I
fat boy
was
program
between
real quick, didn't they?
I was between that what we call the PFT cycle. It was the
Yeah.
Navy. The Navy's a little more chill than most
Yeah,
than
yeah,
most
yeah,
people, right?
yeah.
But but man, it took 6 months, and I dropped all the way down to 195. So to your point about finding the time, I had to wake up at 3 in the morning. I was doing 2 a days. In the
Mm-hmm.
morning before the kids wake up, I would run like 2 or 3 miles, get the cardio, go to the gym, come back, get them ready, um, then go do work, come back, pick them up, and do another round or whatever. Be outside with them
Yeah,
activities. So it's
yeah.
possible, man. But that was back in 2003. Now here we are in 2022, coming to the end of 2022, right? Tell us about meals. Some people they hate drinking stuff. I mean, I was taking pills, and all of my meals were just it had to be like protein meal replacements, just like chicken, just stuff that was super lean. What are some of the things that you hear from people that says, man, I just can't eat healthy? What are some of the things that you could recommend that they could kind of start or lean towards?
Okay, you said a mouthful, so I'm going to definitely tip into that as I roll forward here, right? You had to hold a fit to fight standard by way of the government. And for those who don't recognize what you're describing, that PT or PFT standard was a fit to fight standard. They're measuring you based on a few metrics: your mileage time when you were doing your run, your sit ups, your push ups, to make sure you were still fit to fight. So you did it for Uncle Sam with no issue.
Mm-hmm.
You did it for Uncle Sam with no issue. And this is why you painstakingly went so far as to have two-a-days and to structure your meal plan to make sure you maintained that fit to fight standard. Because as they might not know, I called off a quote a second ago, not as a pejorative, but as a true description. They call it the Fat Boy Program in active duty. And what that means is someone has tipped the scales, and then by other metrics, measuring their waistline as well as their neck. For the listeners who don't know, they've decided that, hey, this man is actually no longer fit to fight. So we want to make sure he is going to be able to stay in our armed forces. Now, because you had kids, this is your livelihood, you didn't want to lose that. So you
Mm-hmm.
prioritize getting yourself back into condition, or they would have put you out. The
Mm-hmm.
same now comes to a decade later on your own accord. If you don't do right or keep this fit to fight standard, it's not Uncle Sam going to put you out. It's life that's going to take you out. And if COVID didn't show
Mm-hmm.
that to so many people, I don't know what will. If you were not fit to fight this metabolic issue, or if you weren't fit to fight this virus that came through, you were going to tap out. This was an issue of metabolic unhealth. Those who were unhealthy in that regard were the the bulk of those who were dying. I'm not saying all
Wow.
that died, or I don't want to be insensitive, but all those that died did not have metabolic issues. But we see that the overwhelming amount of those who did die had pre-existing complications of a metabolic sort. So let's make sure we are fit to fight on our own standard, not because the government told us to. Now, for those who
Hmm.
decide that, you know what, I don't have the sources to eat healthy, you do actually have the sources. You just have to look to know where to invest this money. And it's not really money that's the investment at this point, it's time that's the investment. So when you do know you can find time to do it, you invest your level of self, your elbow grease, into preparing for the upcoming week. You know, on Monday, the shop is closed. So on Tuesday, we're going to be wide open, working clean through Saturday. And for some of us, Sunday. With that being said, you got to prepare in advance, which means you might have to buy that big pallet of raw chicken from Costco, Sam's, or the local commissary if you're in the military. Prepare this chicken, get the largest surface you have in your house, which might be your grill outdoors. Fire that grill up.
Hmm.
Cook all this protein in advance. Buy yourself a bunch of meal prep bowls off of Amazon. They even sell them now in Costco for $9.99. You get 30 meal prep bowls. You can lay all that protein across a few of those bowls. In fact, go ahead and buy a rice cooker while you're there,
Hmm.
because that $6 bag of jasmine rice is going to go a long way when it comes to preparing for your upcoming week. So you got chicken, you got some rice, and whatever vegetable you want. Any phytonutrients will work. Collard greens, cabbage, kale, spinach, broccoli, asparagus, I don't care. But whatever you do, throw that inside that meal prep bowl along with it. So you got protein, you got your complex carb, and you got that phytonutrients there. Lay it out into a bowl. No one wants to eat prepared food the whole week. I understand. But when you know you're going to be busy that day, bring that with you. Have breakfast at home. And when the rest of the world stops to have lunch, what's that, around noon?
Yeah.
You bust yours out, scarf yours down, takes you a bit of, 15 minutes, and then resume your day. But it's all took planning ahead. No more Uber Eats. That's not planning ahead. That's convenience because you failed to plan. You
Exactly.
know, that's what that actually is. DoorDash is for those who failed to plan in advance. You didn't even like that food. You just did it because it was convenient. Give yourself the convenience factor back.
Absolutely, that makes perfect sense. You bring up a very challenging time in our lives with COVID. A lot of people. I was in Philly during COVID, and everyone. It was crazy because I went to go buy a bike. Like this morning, I went on a nice bike ride. I went ahead and got me a big boy bike. One of those Treks. It
Okay.
costs a little bit, but it's absolutely worth every dime. It allows me just to go out, unplug, and that's my time, right?
Yeah.
But I noticed the gyms were shut down. People were doing home gyms. Peloton made a killing at
Yeah.
home and stuff like that. How were you during the pandemic? How did it affect you personally and your business?
So, uh, I'm going to say this, still sensitive to the fact that the industry who I'm speaking to, the professionals who I'm speaking to, were definitely challenged during this pandemic. So I definitely understand that not everyone fared that well. I personally did awesome during this time frame. Just before COVID hit, I transitioned online with my career, which was personal training. But
Hmm.
now I was delivering it in a digital format, so
Hmm.
my clients could see me delivering content, showing them how to go about being healthy and how to go about strength training and how to choose cardio. That was all free game being given across all the platforms. But for those who wanted to make it personal and go one step further, I had video guided training that I issued to the client. And then if another client hopped on the phone with me as well, and I mapped out specifically based on who they were and what was available to them at that point in time, what the plan is that they should be following. So their journey was mapped out by me personally on the phone. Now, the reason I did well with that was because it was two programs I was issuing. Every series purchase, let's say series one, you buy series one right now, you're going to receive the gym video guided workout routine as well as a home video guided workout routine. The home video guided workout routine is what did so well because in buying this series, everyone leaned upon the home program, which is utilizing nothing but dumbbells and resistance band. And I was getting it done because you can get it done in 4 days. All the major muscle groups of your body can be trained using resistance bands and dumbbell. So I personally did well. I actually soared and really, really got traction during COVID because obviously, like I told you a second ago, when gyms shut down, everyone was stuck in the home. I was a person
Mhm.
training you from your home remotely. So it definitely
That's
did well
crazy.
for me. Yeah, it definitely did well for me in that industry.
Is now is as far as and tell us a little bit about your online training platform, because like I said, a lot of people take direction better from people that look like us, right? That be able to be like,
Yeah.
look, I could relate to him because he's speaking to me. He's holding me accountable. We don't hold ourselves accountable, but I think he's going to hold me accountable, and I think I'm going to get this done. Tell us how we could find you, and how can we look at your programs to see if it fits our lifestyle.
Yeah, man. So I am at Big Ron Jones on all the social networks. That's TikTok, Instagram, as well as YouTube. But if you click the link in my, also on Facebook, I'm Ron Jones. But when you click the link in my bio, you're going to see my website there. I would have everyone to start with Series 1 because Series 1 gives you the video guided trainings. And trust me, it's for all levels. I have those who are preparing for stage, starting with Series 1, as well as those who are homemakers starting with Series 1. But the whole thing that really drives this home is the fact that you're accountable to me on the phone and through my personal DM. They wonder how I do it. This is what I do full time. So I have the time to devote to just that, handling these phone calls with clients to hear from them what they want to get done and where they currently are at. Yo, I'm 410 pounds. I don't have access to a gym, or I don't feel comfortable going to a gym. Okay, cool. No problem at all. Utilize the home design that you have. At the same time, though, recognizing that we're all culturally different, right? And there's certain things about our culture that just make sense for who we are and not for others. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to have you on the meal. I'm not going to have you on the phone while I'm designing your cardio you should be doing, or while I'm designing your meal plan, giving you things that aren't feasible. I'm not going to tell you to
Mm-hmm.
have a half a rutabaga for lunch. What the heck is a rutabaga? I know what collard greens are.
Yeah.
And collard greens are green leafies. No one says that. That guy at the gym, he don't know you. Gunther told you to have some kale, some kale and a Caesars. I don't know what this is. I know what
Oh
collard
man,
greens
funny.
are, so I can fire this grill up and get this chicken breast going. I get these leg quarters going because it's all
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine. Yeah, I say leg quarters because dark and white meat are both the same thing. What? Yeah, they're the same thing. Choose out of one of them. So you can have your meal prep with leg quarters, some collard greens, and a half cup of jasmine rice. Bro, you
There
are
you go.
eating along to what I wanted you to do. But see,
Mm-hmm.
translating these sciences into real world applicability is kind of where I come into, not kind of, that's where I come into place at. Also understanding that everyone might not want to be in a gym on a hamster wheel. So I might tell them,
Mm-hmm.
okay, cool, hop on that bike you just invested your money in, or hop on that Peloton, or go outdoors, because I have a certain way I want you to do your cardio from now on. I'm not trying to sink or swim anyone either. I want to meet you where you're at and we'll grow together. It's called a journey for a reason. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. For sure. That's awesome, bro. Thanks so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
What is your cheat meal? Everyone has a cheat meal. Yo, I can't cut Chick-fil-A, bro. Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A is my kryptonite. And
Yeah.
Cane's too, man. Cane's is so good.
Yeah.
What is Big Ron Jones' cheat meal? Let's
You
hear
know
it
what?
straight.
You know what? Real talk, man. I don't have an actual cheat meal. This is how I structure my life, though. Monday through
Yeah.
Friday, it's the business week. I'm all about business. I'm going to follow the structure of cardio, follow my delegated structure of strength training, and follow my structure of eating the meals I should be eating. Now, when it comes to Saturday and Sunday, Saturday morning, my wife says, "Hey, let's have some pancakes." Man, I'm enjoying them pancakes. I'm not gonna skip them eggs though. You know what I mean? My body needs that protein still. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
says, "Hey, let's have a frappuccino with it." Cool. I'm enjoying a frappuccino with breakfast. But watch this. I'm not gonna skip breakfast and only have a frappuccino. See, I'm starving my body at that point. I'm trying to build some muscle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Dinner time, Saturday night is how I approach it as well. Dinner time, it's Saturday, no longer the business week, right? So I'm chilling. I gotta be homeboy. I gotta be son. I gotta be husband. So let's get the grill going. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get the grill going. I'm gonna throw some wings out there. I'm gonna throw some T-bone steak out there. I'm gonna have a loaded baked potato
Mm-hmm.
with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have some carrot cake with it. But no matter what I do, I'm not gonna skip that meal and only have carrot cake and Hennessy. See, I'm starving my body at that point. So what I
Mhm.
like to say is on the weekends, I like to have my protein rich meal, but put the indulgence on top of that. That way I
Mhm.
know for sure I got what my body needed. Trying to
Yeah.
maintain a good solid muscle mass structure. But at the same time, though, I don't want to mentally break because Lord knows that red velvet was calling me. It was calling me. I had to have it still. You know what I'm saying? I had to have that
For
Hennessy and
sure.
Coke still. But with the structure I put in place, I'm good. I'm gonna say this last little bit, man. I think what happens is we decide to get onto these journeys telling ourselves a lie. You know, we tell ourselves, okay, no more, and we're done with this. And then as soon as that temptation comes, you cave into it at the most inopportune time. Then you go overboard, you feel guilty, then you quit. If you structure your lifestyle as it once was about business during the business week, those 24 to 48 hours, it gives you that mental reciprocity. It brings you back up to know, okay, this ain't too bad at all. You feel
Mhm.
mentally bad, but trust me, you didn't do no damage to yourself. Not in 24, 48 hours. But come Monday, back on your grizzly. And you
Mhm.
lock into that, and then that's what's going to cruise you back to where you need to be at, man. But trying to go whole hog or nothing, trying to be perfect across the board, it's just not going to work, and you're going to burn out.
Definitely. And I do see that if you just maintain and keep everything on the schedule. You don't have to go crazy like I had to do, right? To
Mm-hmm.
drop whatever. And I'm sure you've heard that from a gazillion clients. So I definitely understand exactly where you're coming from on that. Yo, what makes your delivery and your program different? There's so much out there. And for those that
Yeah.
are listening to us on Barberview TV, it's good for us to understand what's going to make Big Ron get my revenge body, you know what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
get me
So
back where I need to be at.
I'm gonna give you the secret, man. This is the secret. For those who can't see me, I'm blacker than an average cat. You know what I mean? And me being a real dark skinned brother, my age hides itself really well. I'm actually 38 years old. You know what I mean? I've been around the block
That's
a little
dope.
while. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing this personal training thing since before the internet was cool. You know what I mean? Before social
Yeah, yeah.
networks were here. So all I've done was I've translated my in-person career to the online space. So I'm not an influencer. I'm not an online content creator. I'm not a personal trainer who was forged online. I'm a real career trade personal trainer. I just happened to
Mhm.
learn the internet and translated what I did to that
Yeah,
space. So what you're getting, and I hope it's coming across properly, is the authenticity of a true trainer who's sold out for the actual client. And I don't want to get too emotional on you, man, but I really see what I do as a gift,
yeah.
and God doesn't mind you monetizing your gift as long as you do what you're supposed to with that gift first. And I believe my gift is to make sure I deliver this to His people. This is why I use a certain format to make sure everyone can use it because health and wellness is the one thing that the whole world can use.
Hmm.
Literally, there's not one person walking this earth that doesn't want to own their health and wellness. And these are all His people. So I've got to be able to deliver this fashionably or deliver this in a fashion that they can all receive it. So I'm going to always be honest and true to that one thing because if I don't be true to this gift, I can find myself in trouble. There's another person, not to get too deep on you here, but there's another person who found himself misusing the gift of God. And we see where he found himself.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I promise to always be honest to this craft of what I'm doing. And the good thing is it's actually monetizing itself. So that's all right.
That's dope, bro. And that's the thing. Honesty, um, being able to relate. Those are the things that connect people with customers to even in the barber chair. Like we go to our barbers to to be the preacher, the pastor, the person to keep you honest and hey guys, this is some good game here. So I'm really glad we was able to connect with at Big Ron Jones. Awesome, man. So tell us again where we can find you on your platforms and how can we as a barber culture uh, pick up what you putting down to have a healthy lifestyle and maintain what we have right now as far as our beautiful health. Please go ahead.
All right, your actionable plan starting on Monday is just like this. If you don't join with me, which is perfectly fine, but if you do decide to join with me on all platforms, on Instagram, click the link in my bio, start with Series 1 purchase. If you're on TikTok, same thing, click the link in my bio, start with Series 1 purchase. If you're following me on Facebook, Ron Jones, click the link in my bio. From there, start with Series 1 purchase as well. From there, we're going to go for it with one another, okay? It's all being done by me. We're going to have a phone call together as well. I'm going to map out what you need to be doing based on who you are and your current life circumstances and responsibilities. I don't care how advanced you think you are. I don't want to hear anything about your high school career at Polk High. Leave that alone, Al Bundy. But I want to hear more about where you're currently at in life as we lean forward optimistically. But if you don't join with me, I want you to make sure you do 3 things starting on Monday. The first thing, starting Sunday night. So do not go to bed Sunday night if you do not have this mapped out. Monday morning, know what you're going to have for breakfast. Protein carb. Might be eggs and oatmeal. Number 2, Sunday night, make sure you know starting Monday when and where you're going to do your cardio. If you're busy, I suggest you start first thing in the morning, maybe outdoors. 3, also know what days you're going to train your muscles and at what time. Map this out for the upcoming 5-day business week. If you don't have that mapped out, do not go to sleep. You're unprepared. You are unprepared for the upcoming week. But that's too
That's
much
dope.
for you. I got you. Don't worry about it. Click the link in my bio. Big Ron Jones got you covered. I'll
I
put it in
love it.
perspective for you.
I love it. Hey, yo, so really quick on the barber note, I see you got the nice beard, bro. Who is your barber? And tell me about that relationship with that barber. That's if you don't
Man,
cut your hair
so
yourself.
Man, we call myself. He calls me Lazarus because he brought me back from the dead. I had a lot of hair everywhere, right? And then out of nowhere, my hair started getting thin, and I freaked out. So I
Hmm.
shaved it and took a razor to it. So for a lot of my content, you're gonna see about 2 years, about a year and a half, I was rocking a slick bald with just a beard. But then one day, I went and got this thing called, is it micropigmentation, whatever?
SMP. SMP.
SMP. And SMP actually spurned my hair follicle into growing. So it
Wow.
strengthened my hairline. It doesn't happen all the time, but in her doing what she did, um, it actually spurned the hair follicle into growing back. So I actually
Wow.
got some strength back to my hairline. I said, you know what? Let me try growing this thing back out some. And then I grew it on back a little bit here. And the way he's cutting it now, he's very masterful in it. So the areas that were thin are no longer visible. And then from there, it's just just me trying to figure out what I'm doing. But I'm glad to have my hair again.
Nice
So
beard. I
yeah, so
love
you
it,
say,
bro.
and then the beard, man, is just simply me letting that thing ride, man. Leave the cheek lines alone, just letting it go, just letting it go.
So tell us about how
Oh, by
how
the way, I'm
much.
sorry. His name is Cleo Graham. Cut by Cuts in Valdosta, Georgia. Cleo Graham. Kleo Graham. A cut above cuts in Valdosta, Georgia. Forgive me.
Valdosta, Georgia. Yo, shouts out to all and yo, y'all need to watch out. That hurricane is coming that way. Everyone, don't take it lightly. Make sure to protect yourself, protect your loved ones. Go ahead and put gas on the car right now. And if you're gonna hunker down, be safe. Let people know where you're at right now. I just came from Florida. It was crazy. I
Mm,
just landed yesterday from Florida, and it was crazy. Um,
hmm
so like, tell us about how it feels when you sit in that barber chair and you're just that's your self care time. Tell us about that moment when you're in that chair, you're just having that conversation with your barber. Obviously, there's a good relationship there. Tell us a little bit about that.
it's the same feeling you felt when you were getting your first haircut. If you did it begrudgingly, perhaps that wasn't the same feeling you felt. But when you realized that getting that haircut made you the man, you know what I'm saying? You learned to embrace that barbershop experience. So it's the same thing it was when I first went to the barbershop at 7, 8 years old, with my own father. The fact that I was in there and the conversation, I really couldn't get in on it because they were talking about more mature subjects, not inappropriate, but more mature subjects. But as
Yeah.
time goes forward, man, you are able to input and give your own opinion. You know what I mean? To the point where I am now, I've lived a few things. You know what I'm saying? I had a few experiences. I got a few
Hmm.
life responsibilities, so I got something to contribute to the conversation. So now, being the of age man in the barbershop, I like having those conversations. The way that we can't have it elsewhere. That's one place we can definitely have certain conversations and it be received properly. Lord knows we have to watch ourselves on our jobs or in other spaces But in the barbershop, man, I'm real protective of it because that is one place whereby we can all have our own opinion and we know we're all coming from the same place of love. No harm meant, but it's a place you can actually speak and give your opinion unabashedly so and without too much harsh judgment, you know?
Yep. For sure. It's crazy how in the barbershop environment, how if you need a contractor to do some electric work, yo, I got somebody for that. If I need
Yeah,
someone to get a bootleg DVD back in the day, yo, I got that. You
yeah,
don't hear health. This is our barbershop. This is where we're going. You guys, you need to put, if you're gonna get someone to find out how to do some contractor work, you need to work on contracting your body for health too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly. You know, and I mean that for real, man. So you're a professional, right? I'm a
Yeah.
professional. My doctor's a professional. I would dare not try and do what my doctor does because I'm a professional and I know I'm good at what I do. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? If you're good at what you do, you recognize that professionals are real. With that being
Hmm.
said, quit trying to YouTube University how to do someone else's job. You know what I'm saying? You quit Wikipedia to become a physician. You YouTube University of Fade one more time, I'm gonna clown you. You know what I'm saying? Like as a pro, you outsource the job to the best person to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You outsource that job to somebody. You just might not be the best person for your own health. So you
Hmm.
hire a professional. The same way I hire a professional barber, right?
Hmm.
Health should be seen the same way. If you're not all the way equipped, at least spend some time underneath someone who can equip you. The same way you might have an apprentice who's building or forging their skill set beneath you for a moment. You got to stay
Yep.
with that apprentice forever, but at some point in time, you got to fall beneath someone to learn something you don't know. And bro, let me tell you, you don't know it all when it comes to health and wellness. And
Yep.
barbershop talk is a great place for information, but sometimes it's a great place for misinformation. So make sure you talk to a professional before you hurt yourself about to blow your back out doing them high school workouts from your varsity year back in the day.
I love it. Those OG stories. Well, hey, Big Ron, man, I really appreciate the time, and I know you got a busy schedule, man. Thanks so much for joining us, man. It's been a pleasure. You gave us a lot to chew on. No pun intended. You really gave us a new perspective on holding ourselves accountable. But if you need that extra push, yo, Big Ron Jones is there. He's got you. And sometimes we need that push. We all do. We have to be totally honest and transparent with ourselves. We have to be around for our kids, for our culture. You know, if you're not around to make bread, look at everyone else that you're going to let down behind you. And it's always good
Mm-hmm.
to take some me time and make sure that you address you and your health. So once again, this is Mario from Barberview TV with my man Big Ron Jones. Yo, we out. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.